Today's Namaste Yoga is Gratitude and Spirituality Part 2. Hello and welcome to episode 289 of Namaste Yoga. And I am grateful for beautiful, gorgeous, I love the female peacocks. I think they're just beautiful. And one just walked right by me here. And I'm grateful for you for being here with us today. We really appreciate you coming to do this class with us. And I am really grateful to my friend Indy, who helped me a lot with the creation of this class and the stories she shared with me for today's class. We both share a love of Hindu mythology, and I asked her if she had a story that she thought would be good for today's class, and she shared the story that I'm going to share with you later today. So I'm excited about that. I want to thank Squeezed Yoga Clothing for my clothes today. Today I'm having a good hair day with my squeezed headband. I love these headbands. They're so fun. So I think there are 4 or maybe 5 different headbands in different colors. So this is the peace one in this blue, which I can't think of the shade of right now. And it matches my blue top, my blue love top. What color blue is this? I'm asking a colorblind person behind the camera. It's like the Three Stooges here. Okay. And then I'm wearing the long gray leggings as well. Apparently I left my brain camping yesterday. And also thanks to Dusky Leaf for our props. Today you are going to need a yoga mat, blocks, and a strap. And if you have a bolster would be good as well. And I have a testimonial from Erin from our membership community to share with you this morning. She left me this message, private message for me. So I am going to share it with you, parts of it, because it's very long. She said it's verbose, and it is. It's a beautiful message, and I'll share parts of it with you. She said, "Hi, Melissa. I wanted to share with you how incredibly grateful I am for you and for Tim, and since I'm not an active voice here on the membership site. I love all of your classes, and I frequently spend the rest of the day talking about your lessons or insights I've had during my practice, even the hard stuff that ends up in conversation I find lessons in. In particular, the postures and pranayama section, that's a newer section in our membership site, and as well as the recent Inner Critic series have had a profound impact on me. The Inner Critic series began on a day when I was circling an emotional drain and shoveling an astonishing amount of negativity and just having hateful feelings onto myself. And I think we can all relate to that. We've all been there. I've felt that myself, that feeling of going down that drain emotionally. I've literally felt that. I know exactly what she's talking about. So much so that my husband was completely at a loss to comfort me. And so he pushed me to go to my yoga mat. These good husbands that push us to go to our yoga mats. I'm so glad he did, because in my YouTube notifications, this was the first class in this series. I cried so hard during that class. The idea that my inner critic is doing its job that I hired her for totally rocked my world, and I've been working on redefining the job description ever since. I cannot stress that enough. It was a complete paradigm shift. Also, the work you're doing on connective tissue is amazing. So this is some of the value-added content that we have in our membership site. Every time I do one of those classes, I can feel energy being released, a tissue shifting, and I just end up giggling because it feels so good. Minutes later, I frequently find myself tearing up because the teachings or questions has hit on something I wasn't expecting to be connected. My whole body and spirit are affected by the subtle movements and focused breathing. After every class I do, I want to tell everybody I meet how much better they could feel too. Who thought this is the best sentence in the whole testimonial? So you had to listen to this sentence. Who thought proselytizing fascia manipulation would ever be a thing? Okay, this is a great paragraph too. Basically, she had surgery and she's a voice singer. So she said she's got a lot of scar tissue in her mouth. So she talks about how the 4 movements of the neck video on her membership site really helped her a lot for that too. You present all these positions, questions, and concepts in a manner that is completely approachable and accessible. It creates a space that is safe for delving deeper into the mind-body connection that I've just not found anywhere else. I just wanted to thank you, to let you know that the work you guys do has a greater impact than you can possibly know. So grateful, Erin, and she's from Michigan. So thank you so much, Erin. I really appreciate the time you took to write that fantastic testimonial that explained how much you're getting out of not just Namaste Yoga, but also that value-added content that we give you in your membership community. Okay, so speaking of those amazing connective tissue classes that we have on the membership site, if you are a member, I would recommend either doing the hand connective tissue class or the upper back rehydration sequence before you start today's class, because we're going to be doing a lot of back bends. Both of those can really release the fascia in your upper back to make the back bends a lot more accessible. So what we're going to do is start with cat pose today, so come onto all fours to begin. And I'll take my socks off because it will be a lot more aesthetically pleasing for you. It's summer in Victoria here, so it's probably 15 in the sun, but definitely not in the shade. So come on to all fours. And I'll take this off for now as well. Oh, is it underneath my mic? Okay, so on all fours, spread your fingers wide, reach out into the webs of your hands. If you have any issues with your wrists, you can always come onto your fists, or you can come down onto your forearms for cat pose, whatever works best for you. Your hips are over your knees are underneath your hips, and we're going to breathe out and round up through your back, and then breathe in and arch through your back. So breathe out, round through your back, draw your head and tail closer together, down towards your mat, and then breathe in and arch up, reach your head and tailbone up towards the ceiling. So cat pose increases the flexibility in your spine, and it also improves the strength in your wrists and your shoulders. And then you're going to walk your hands back to your knees and stand up onto your knees. And we're going to do some variations in lunge pose. So walk your left leg forward. And you're going to find your balance here first by connecting the top of your shin to the ground. So finding that connection in your back right leg, and then also down through your front left foot. Sink down through your front left foot, come upright. So you can do a couple of things here. You can have a chair here. You can hold on to the wall here to help you with balance. This pose will help you build your balance and focus as well. And then we're going to do a few things in this pose. We're going to exhale and round your spine forward. So round your spine forward and drop your head. This pose improves your flexibility in your psoas and your hips. And then you're going to take your arms around behind you, interlace your fingers, and you're going to open up through your chest. So then you're going to be opening up your chest and your shoulders and your lungs here. You could have a folded blanket under your knee if you have any knee troubles here as well. And then you're going to take your left arm forward, your right arm back. And then your right arm forward and your left arm back. And then come back to the center, release down, and you're going to shift back and we'll switch sides. So this time you can walk your right leg through. And again, spend a moment or two here. First, feel the top of your shin on the ground and the back on your back left leg. And then feel the whole bottom of your right foot. Take a breath here. As you breathe out, sink down through your front right foot and come upright. Feel the opening in the front of your right hip. So you're increasing the flexibility, of your left hip. You're increasing the flexibility in your left hip, your left psoas here. And then we'll do the same thing as we did on the other side here. So you're going to round your back and drop your head forward. Increasing the flexibility in your back, neck, and shoulders here. And then shift, you're going to take your arms behind you, interlace your fingers and open up through your chest. So opening up your chest, creating more capacity for you to breathe. So if you're tired, this is going to open up your chest cavity so you can get stale air out and more fresh air in. That'll help to oxygenate your brain. So you'll be less tired. And then bring your right arm forward, your left arm back. And switch left arm forward and right arm back. And then you can release that down and come back onto all fours. We're going to do a little vinyasa flow to warm up your joints and your body a little bit more. So we're going to start on all fours. You're going to start in table position. And if this bothers your wrists, you could always, a nice modification here would be to roll up your mat so that the heels of your hands are on your mat, but your fingers are off the mat. So it lifts your wrists so that they are elevated, and that should help take some of the pressure off your wrists. I'm going to put my mat back down because my wrists don't bother me and the ground is really wet. Okay, but that's a nice modification. You can also buy a prop like that if you have issues with your wrists. They're called a wedge. I'm probably going to order one and I'll do a review on my other channel, on my Living Your Yoga channel. They're nice prop. They're not very expensive either if you have a lot of wrist problems. Okay, so here it's called table. We're going to go from table, and then you're going to shift back to down dog. Breathe out. Breathe in, come back up to table. Tuck your toes under. Breathe out, come up to downward facing dog. Breathe in, lower down to table. Breathe out, child's pose. Breathe in, table. Tuck your toes under. Breathe out, downward facing dog. Breathe in, table. Breathe out, child's pose, very calming for your body. Breathe in, table. Breathe out, downward facing dog, stretches out your spine. Breathe in, table. Breathe out, child's pose, stretches out your back, releases tension in your back. Breathe in, table. Breathe out, downward facing dog, relaxes your mind, helps to release anxiety. Breathe in, table. Breathe out, child's, helps to relieve tension in your neck and shoulders here. Breathe in, table. Breathe out, downward facing dog, a nice inversion here where your head's below your heart, relaxes your mind. Breathe in, table. Breathe out, child's. Okay, and then from here, going to roll up to a comfortable seated position. And we're going to come to seated for the teachings for today. I think I'm just going to sit this way because the wind's blowing this way, and then you won't get wind on your microphone, so you'll be able to hear better. And we're going to do the Hridaya mudra today. And the way that works is you're going to curl your index finger just down to the base of your of the pad of that finger, and then you connect your middle two fingers into your thumb, and you extend your baby finger. Okay, so for this mudra, the first knuckle of your index finger will actually touch the base of your thumb as well. And you're going to relax your belly. Just let it all hang out, ladies. Don't hold your belly in anymore. And men. Do men hold their bellies in too?
I do.
You do too? You do? Okay. All right. Everybody let your guts hang out and just breathe. It's easier to breathe when nobody's watching you. You're doing yoga now. Just let it all hang out, and then you can breathe easy, nice and deep into your belly. And feel your chest open and relaxed. I chose this mudra because it opens your heart center, it strengthens your heart, releases pent-up emotions, it releases accumulated stress, anxiety, and it opens your heart center. So that's why I chose it today. And just allow yourself to be open to receive the teachings today. I'm going to put my mala back on because you'll see it has something to do with the teachings today as well. So close your eyes, sink down through your base of your spine, lengthen up through the crown of your head. Take some smooth, deep, even breaths. And allow yourself to receive. So we know from past Namaste yogas that the stories of the Hindu pantheon and Hindu mythology are no strangers to gratitude and spirituality. And you don't have to be Hindu to receive these teachings. You can be of any faith, because these stories are also archetypal. They help us to see the parts of ourselves that are in them. So, you might identify with this character, or you might know somebody that's like them. And so they're parables that help us to understand ourselves better as well. So they're open for everybody to receive as well. So there are lots of classes that we've already done on gratitude and spirituality. When Ganesh was challenged by his brother, to race around the universe. Instead of competing with his brother in a way that we might imagine, he showed his devotion to his parents and his gratitude to his parents by circling them, saying that you are my entire universe. And if you want to do that class, you can go back. I'll put the link in the show notes to that class. And that's actually a show that we're going to be re-releasing too soon. Hanuman lived his life in gratitude to Ram. His attitude of devotion is another example of gratitude, and that you could go back and do that class. I put it in the show notes as well, number 215. And on our mala beads as well, there are actually 109 beads. There are 108 beads on the main mala, but then at the end there's a 109th bead. So there you stop and take a moment to thank your teacher. So my mala beads that I have here, I had remade from my grandma's pearls. And so I will often stop and thank my grandma for everything that she taught me in her life when I meditate on these mala beads when I get to the 109th one. So we have a huge tradition of gratitude in yoga and any path of spirituality. And I'd love to hear in the comments whatever path of spirituality you follow, the traditions of gratitude that you follow. You can leave those in the comments. So today I'm going to share with you a story of Shabari, a female saint who was a devotee to Rama. I learned the story from my friend Indy, and you can find her website and her YouTube channel, and I'll link to them in the show notes as well. Her website is indytarot.com, and if you search for her on YouTube, you could just search Indy Tarot, but the links will be in the show notes as well. So Shabari was a daughter of a hunter who was supposed to be married, and the tribe she belonged to had gathered sacrificial animals to be sacrificed at her wedding. She was filled for such compassion for the animals that she decided to flee the tribe to avoid their killing and went to live a life of devotion to Rama. She eventually grew old with only one desire, and that was to meet her beloved Rama. One day she found out that Rama would be coming to grant her her only wish. She began collecting fruits to offer her beloved. In order to select the most sweet fruits to give to Rama, she took a bite out of each one, setting aside the most sweet ones for Ram. According to the rules of prasadam, that's the offering of food, it's definitely not okay to offer food with a bite out of it. Shabari was so intent on finding the most sweet and the best possible fruit for Ram that she totally forgot about the rules of offering food. And when Ram arrived, his brother Lakshmana was totally appalled at the sight of this half-eaten fruit. Rama, on the other hand, recognized the purity of Shabari's actions, and he was filled with gratitude for her acts of devotion. He said that one devotee like Shabari was better than millions of others who simply prayed to him for personal gain or materialistic motives. Rama was filled with gratitude for Shabari's devotion. He looked deep into the heart of his devotee Shabari and not at the superficial details of the offering, the food that she was offering. In this story, Rama shows us that as long as our intentions and hearts are filled with love, that's all that really matters when we are offering gratitude. So today we're going to practice poses that will open our hearts and fill us with gratitude. Okay, so we're going to make our way up to standing now. Actually, first I'll get you to set an intention. Getting ahead of myself here. So allow yourself to receive the teachings and reflect on how they relate to you and your life. And set an intention for what you would like to receive from the rest of this class. How could this class best serve you in your life? What would you like to create, sustain, release, or rebirth in your life? And how can this class best help you do that? Okay, so my intention or my insight and realization was that it doesn't always have to be perfect. Even though I got ahead of myself, I can refocus and make my offering to you. And now we'll come up to standing. Okay, so we're going to come up to standing. I'm very excited about this pose, apparently. Are you excited? Okay, so we haven't done this pose in so long, I feel like. So maybe that's why I'm excited. So you're going to stand. This is a balancing posture, so you may want to have a chair or a wall close by so you can have some help with your balance. And this is a good pose to work on balance. It opens up your chest and your heart center. It's great for shoulder mobility too. So let's start by standing on your left leg. Bend your right leg. Reach around and hold on to the inside of your foot. If you can't reach, you can use a yoga strap. I like putting my thumb on my big toe. It's called dancer pose. Natarajan. It's for Shiv, Lord of the Dance. And then what you're going to do is drop your knee so that your quad, your top of your thigh, is in line with your other leg. Airplane central here today. Should we just keep going with this one? Okay. I'm going to lengthen your arm up and you're going to draw your heel away from your buttocks. Okay. So this kind of motion, which takes your arm back and opens it up, opens up your chest, takes your shoulder through a pretty good range of motion too, is really good for you because in our culture right now, we spend a lot of time doing this, doing this, doing this. So all these really fine motor movements, which creates all these fine motor movements in your fingers, creates stiffness in your shoulder joint. So unless we counter this with bigger movements in our shoulders, you just get immobility in your shoulder. So that's why on our membership site, I created 10 classes called Shoulder Shorts, which takes your shoulder through big, huge range of motion. So that's 10 shoulder classes. I'll link to it in the show notes. And they're 10 short classes, 10, 20, 30-minute long classes that move your shoulders through full range of motion. So let's do this on the other side. Stand on your right foot. Bend your left leg. Hold on to the inside edge of your foot. Place your thumb on your big toe. You can use a wall for help with balance. And it's a great pose to help you increase your balance. Strengthens your ankles, the arch of your foot. Open up the front of your hip here. You can reach your right arm up. Inhale here. Exhale and start to move your heel away from your buttocks. And then you can slowly lower that down. And we're going to come down. We're going to come into an inversion now. Wide-legged standing forward fold. Take your feet wide. And roll your pelvis over your leg bones. And drop the crown of your head. So this pose will help you to relieve anxiety And it'll stretch your hamstrings and your groin and your hips, improving flexibility in your hamstring and your groin and your hips. It will make you as sweet and grateful as Shabari in our story. Then slowly make your way up to standing. And we're going to make our way onto your bellies, lying on your belly. Okay, so you're going to lie down on your belly, and you can have a strap close by, especially if you have tight quadriceps. Okay, lying on your belly, just rock your pelvis back and forth from side to side. Loosen up your low back, get nice and loose. And then take your arms straight out long in front of you. And you're going to bend your right leg in. Reach around and hold on to the inside edge of your foot, because that'll give your shoulder a nice external rotation. If you can't reach, you can use your strap here. Wrap your strap around your foot. Inhale here. Exhale, and you'll pull your foot away from your buttocks, and that will lift your chest up off the ground. And there's Dhanurasana, and that's a nice pose to improve your posture, and range of motion in your shoulder, and it opens up your chest to fill you with lots of gratitude. Fill your heart with gratitude. And then you can slowly lower back down. Release that side. And just wiggle your hips back and forth. And then you're going to take your left arm down and around and hold on to the inside edge of your left foot. And you're going to inhale here. Exhale and pull your foot away from your buttocks, and that will lift your chest up off the ground. And then slowly release that down. Wiggle your hips from side to side. Take a little rest there. And then from here, you can come up onto all fours. And we're going to come into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So inhale here, tuck your toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, oh my gosh, the tops of my feet are full of mud. It's going to get worse. Take your left leg up and then thread your left leg between your right arm in your right leg, and keep threading it through. For Dying Warrior, this ground is just completely mucky. These pants are going to be disgusting in a minute. And then you're going to take your arms out to the side and your head to the side. So there's Dying Warrior. Drop your right hip towards the ground. It's a nice twist after your back bend. The twists are great for relieving tension in your body. And less tension means you can be more tuned into gratitude. And then gather yourself up. And come back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. And from here, you're going to take your back right leg up. Thread your right leg between your left wrist and your left foot. And keep threading through. Take your arms out to the side and rest your chest on the ground. Drop your left hip towards your right leg. Dying Warrior on the other side. And then gather yourself all up again after you've released all that tension from your twist. Okay, and you're going to come back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then you can come down to a comfortable seated position. Hopefully you didn't get as dirty as I did doing that. And you're going to sit with your left leg bent, your right leg out to the side. And inhale here. Are you laughing at how dirty I am? It's gross. You're going to inhale here. You're going to exhale, turn towards your left leg. And then you're going to take your right arm down your right leg. And you're going to bend over it. And if you have a bolster here, you can put your bolster on your right leg and you can actually just lean on it here. That's why I put the bolster in the show notes. And then slowly come up. Nobody told us they were going to have a parade of airplanes this morning. I'm grateful it's such a blue sky day. The pilots are grateful it's such a blue sky day, yeah. Okay, we're going to switch legs. We're going to bend your right leg and extend your left leg out. And this time you're going to turn towards your right leg. And then you're going to take your left arm down your left leg. And so this side is my side that I have frozen shoulder on. So your arm will come all the way up and over, but you're going to side bend all the way up and over. This is great for flexibility in your hamstrings. Open up those intercostal muscles and help you with breathing. Good. And slowly come back up to seated. And then you can make your way down onto your back for Shavasana. Palms up beside you. So you can stay here, and I'm going to sit up and share with you a reading. I think it's a poem for today. So this is a prayer by John O'Donohue. And if it resonates with you, then lovely, let it just sink right in and allow you to let go of any stress that you're carrying. And if it doesn't, you can just let yourself sink into the ground and relax and let go here. May you listen to your longing to be free. May the frames of your belonging be large enough for the dreams of your soul. May you arise each day with a voice of blessing, whispering in your heart. Something good is going to happen to you. May you find harmony between your soul and your life. May the mansion of your soul never become a haunted place. May you know the eternal longing that lies at the heart of time. May there be kindness in your gaze when you look within. May you never place walls between the light and yourself. May you be set free from the prisons of guilt, fear, disappointment, and despair. May you allow the wild beauty of the invisible world to gather you, mind you, and embrace you in belonging. Such a beautiful prayer. I think it resonates with me. So allow those words to sink in and reflect back on the teachings today and your experience of the class. And just notice what stands out for you and what it is you're going to carry with you off your mat and into your life this week. And as we close up the class, everything's gone quiet here. I'm grateful for the quiet. And then begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes and begin to stretch out. You can bend your knees and slowly roll to your side, coming into the fetal position with gratitude for new beginnings, so many new beginnings. Each breath is a new beginning. Each new day is a new beginning. Each time you end a yoga class, it's a new beginning, a fresh start. Taking a deep breath here. And then slowly make your way up to seated. So thank you so much for joining me for the second part of the Gratitude and Spirituality class. It was a two-part class. I had lots to say on gratitude and spirituality. We're going to keep going with this gratitude series next week. Tim's parents are arriving on Monday. I'm grateful for that. Actually, we have lots of fun things planned, and they're taking us to Tofino, so that's going to be fun. We're excited about that. And, when they're here, lots of treats. So it'll be ice cream time for sure. I'm grateful for that. I like ice cream a lot. We're trying to figure out a way to build in a ferry trip, because the ferry terminal here, they have the best gelato that I've ever tasted in the entire world. But the only way you can get it is if you actually go on the ferry. So, I don't know. Maybe. We have to find a reason to go on the ferry. But it's expensive gelato. If you add the ferry trip onto that. Okay. Anyway, I digress. If you liked today's show on gratitude and spirituality, please give us a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, then we can let you know when the new show comes out, and make sure it's in your feed by subscribing to our channel. And, share it with a friend or a family or a coworker. And please leave your 5-star review on iTunes and leave your comments below. Today's question for you is, what fruits of gratitude are you going to offer to another this week? What bitten fruit are you going to give away? What licked ice cream cone? And as always, you can show your appreciation for our classes with your donations or by leaving a comment. I want to thank Cinda Smith for your donation this past week. Thank you so much, Cinda. We appreciate your donation. And if you're looking for a way to go deeper, I talked about it a bit during this class. We have shoulder shorts for you in our membership community. So, as I said, all those fine motor movements on your computer and your iPods and cell phones and stuff, they really do stiffen up your shoulders. So that 10-class series of shoulder shorts, where we bring back those full range of motion in your shoulders again, helps to counter those fine motor movements that just create immobility in your shoulder. 10 classes, they're anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes long, and they're a great resource. I know our members really get good use out of them, and it's just one of the many benefits. I think there's over 200 classes on our membership site, but even tomorrow we're doing motivation meetups. There's a buddy system. There's just incredible things on our membership site. We'd love to have you as a member. You can sign up below to become a member. So I'm sending you much love from beautiful British Columbia. May your joy be as deep as our Pacific Ocean. May you be as strong as our mountains, and may you be as rooted as the trees in our forest. Om Shanti. Namaste.
Melissa would love to hear your questions and thoughts. Please leave your comments below the video. Thank you for your reviews on iTunes and YouTube. Your reviews help us to share yoga and a yoga lifestyle with others around the world. If you have a question for Melissa, you can leave a voice message at melissawest.com, and Melissa may answer it in an upcoming blog.